My first interaction with Brittany is when you start realizing and you start hearing that there are, African Americans or Black Americans, however, whichever the correct terminology is, showing an interest, especially in moving
Kenya.
back
in
Kenya, and I would wish that restrictions are relaxed, because I think the only way to find out and to know the hurdles and the red tape and the obstacles is hearing from people who really their desire is to settle in Kenya. They want to, move back already. Like you've had, she's organized. They've resettled. She has resettled the first family. Their first family.
Yeah.
And it's a matter of what can be done to lessen the burden, or lessen or reduce the obstacles, for blacks, for lack of a better word, for blacks, so that they can feel comfortable coming back in, or not necessarily moving back, but settling in Kenya. I would just be curious. Maybe she can chime on, like, some of the obstacles, because it's good to always identify and say exactly what the issue is, because we had our president the other day talk about visa free, right? But there's visa free, but of course there's an obstacle. There's more paperwork to be done. Apparently there's still a fee, and then they had this photo op with somebody coming in and showing that the process was easy or whatever. I think you guys saw that.
Very, very, very foolish.
But I think
But
I think it's easier to it would be easier to get somebody to say what the obstacles are, because all of us here will just get on a plane, show our passports, and we go in. We don't even know what the issue is. Mika.
Okay, Mika.
I've heard what Alfred Jamaica said. I've heard what Kia said, and Uno brought some questions. But then there's some important things that Kia mentioned. The first thing that she mentioned was value. You have to show that you're bringing value, right? Now, let's remove the factor that these are black people. Let's add in this factor that these are not Kenyans. These are immigrants immigrating to Kenya.
Yes.
And every other country, when they're taking immigrants, the taking of immigrants has to bring value into a country.
Absolutely.
So that is one consideration that we have to take. We have to take away the color of our skin.
Yeah.
It doesn't give us a right to go to that. It's not a region that I cannot go to Uganda and demand to be a Ugandan just because I'm black.
Yeah.
Right? I have to immigrate and follow a process through what they're saying. And in truth, in what she's saying is that if there is an accumulative value, then it makes the government look at this group and say, okay, this group is a constant revenue bringer, and it gives to it. Now, if we turn around and they look at diaspora, and when, as she said, when they look at diaspora and how they look at us, our value is the remittance that we send home, that money that we send home, right?
Yes.
And we are a lot of, if you just add between us, and then let's add the highest number of diasporans who are in the Middle East, because that is the highest number, Aundo Wengi. And so it between us, between them, and then between those who are in Europe, the amount of money that these people come and send, and it's a constant revenue stream that they're trying to, so them saying they're fixing relationship with them is them trying to keep this revenue tap open. They are not thinking about these other people who look like our people and live there, and they're thinking of come back. Ghana did a very good year of the return, but when they did a good day of the return, it was done mostly on a tourism basis, and then after that, people tried to go back and settle in. But then they didn't do it on a long-term thought about it.
Okay.
Now, what needs to happen is what need to happen is, and I like the idea of what Kia's group is doing, because they are going to show that value of when we have a number of masses of people coming together.
Yeah.
I can, and Afro-Jamaican, sorry, I don't want to sound like it, I'm talking down on you. 40 grand is a lot of money that you have invested into that country, right? But it's a drop. It's a drop to what they would want to see from a foreign investor coming into the country.
Okay. All right. Very interesting sentiments coming from.
We
from
can
Mika.
get Afro-Jamaican Chile to marry over there. And it'll be good.
Yeah. We can get him a wife and he can immigrate over there quick. And then but all I'm saying is that all I'm trying to say is this: when we're looking at it at a point whereby what value does Kenya see when it opens their borders?
When they open to African Americans.
Yeah, and then tell them to come in. Because what kind of immigrants are we bringing? Because even us, when we are coming here and they're giving us visa, they sift. And they look.
Yeah. There's a qualitative process.
Yeah, who's going to be valuable to us?
Look at your bank statements.
Who's going to do this? Who's going to do this? So it's considerate. It's something that all countries are going to be. I know it's frustrating when it's you, because it was frustrating for me when I was trying to change my status.
Yeah.
And all of us who came here and tried to change the status.
I will not talk about change of status.
It was
Let's just say some chaps used to look for me.
Yeah, you see, it was frustrating for us. So it's the same way. What we felt when we were doing it is what Afro-Jamaican is feeling right now. But then at the end of the day, once you realize that it's not about you. You
should look at the bigger picture.
At the bigger picture.
Okay.
So for me, I like the idea of what Kia is doing. And Afro-Jamaican, and if I were you and the people you write the petition with, your friends, you have a group of people who you guys work together, who do your things together, I will say use your numbers.
Network, yeah.
Okay. Use your numbers.
Net worth.
Okay.
Yeah, attack it as a group of, attack it as a, show your
attack
value.
as a group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can assure you, whatever that they're doing goes successfully. And then another one, and then they do a second
round.
Phase 2.
It will be the government that will be coming here to beg people to go there.
Wow.
But
very powerful.
I wanted to say, let me just add this. I think when Mika says your value, show your value.
Mm-hmm.
For me, the lens I'm looking at it through at is with Kenya. Show us your value. What are you going to, what are you
money.
giving
At the
us?
end of the day, bottom line is money.
It's money. No, I understand.
Fulus.
Yeah, but how are you going to help? How can I help you? In other words, how can you facilitate? Or as Afro-Jamaican was saying, facilitation fee.
But that's
what I
take
thought.
away the facilitation.
Take away the facilitation.
Even that greasing is not working.
Take away the facilitation.
It's not working.
That greasing is not working. I think, like what the point Mika is trying to make
I get
if
it.
you overwhelm them with so much that they're like, okay, this is something that we can no longer ignore. We have to, because we have to figure out how to now officially facilitate, and not the facilitation of bribery.
If the remittances themselves are not an indication of the volume,
then the remittances come from the diaspora who have a right to go back
who already
to Kenya.
have a right to go back.
That's me and you.
Yeah, that's different.
It's not coming from people. As I said, it's immigrants who are immigrating to Kenya. Let's not forget that fact. These are people immigrating to Kenya. They're trying to get Kenyan visas, Kenyan work permits. They're trying to come and settle in Kenya. So before a country decides to hike up its population and say that we are bringing other people, they want to see the value of those people they're bringing in.
And I think before we go back to Kia, I think the other thing that the government also needs to look at, there's of course that value, and that of course will come when there's an overwhelming force of people showing that they're serious and they want to invest. But at the same time, I think also it's important for the government to look at it. This is a very unique group, even when you're comparing them to the rest, the Indians, the Europeans, and the rest. It's a very unique group in the sense these other ones are coming, it's harvest time. They're coming to harvest and take it back where they came from. This group is unique because they not only do they want to invest, but they're not looking back. There's issues they've been experiencing in America. They actually are rooting for Africa. So this is a very unique group in the sense that not only will they be creating, like these businesses, but they have an incentive to want a Chinese person, the grandson of Kwai Chang-cain. He doesn't have any incentive to want Kenya to progress. Atakuja hapo, atachuma, atavuna, and then he's gonna go back to China.
Did you just pull the legend of Kung Fu?
No, that was just a random name.
And I agree with you.
Wow.
I agree with you, Ali Kabisa. I agree with you, Kabisa. Because the thing is that the point is that the immigration of African Americans into Africa has not been successful in any country where there is a value that has been shown that this is going to show any value, right? Remember when I came from Jamaica and I said, I think the biggest business idea anybody can think right now is, you see, when you go to a resort in Jamaica, you'll think you're in America because it's full of African Americans. It's full of black people. That's their heaven. That is where they go to hang out. That's where they go to party, right? And remember when I say that if somebody actually took this resort, everything that they're offering right here, build a non-inclusive resort, make it friendly and market it to black Americans,
Yes.
and send that is a market that is untapped. Nobody has ever thought about it. And if you can just tap into that market, you will have a continuous yearly flow of visitors.
Our tourism is tailored for white people.
Yeah, our tourism is tailored for white people.
Mr. Smith,
which is very wrong.
Mr. Jones, yeah.
So the thing is, they just haven't realized the value of African Americans.
Wow, okay, is the basic structure, and which is not.